Howdy, Lawman Mike with www.lawmanguitars.com. Hey, I've got a guitar that we have worked on for a really, really, really long time. You would not have believed how this guitar looks today as to what it was when it showed up in my shop. It was pretty much a basket case. Let me explain what happened to this guitar before I tell you what I got. It was basically a guitar that the Pickguard had gassed off. Now, those of you in the business know what gassing off means. They're made of nitrocellulose material, this plastic, and it creates a gas, and it gasses. The gas comes out of it as it gets older, especially if heat is applied. So it's probably in a barn or somewhere. This old wooden case it came in was very cool. But it had completely gassed to the degree that it collapsed, and it was nothing but a bunch of pebbles of plastic laying inside the cavity of the guitar, which you can see on these knobs. Thank you, Jeff the Tech. He saved these knobs. They were melted onto the pots. How he got them off, I have no idea. But we have extra holes in them now because we had to drill new ones. Apparently he had to like cut them out or something. But you can see how all this was the color of the Pickguard, and we couldn't get it off the knobs, which I think is also just gives it some more of the panache of this guitar and what it went through. The pickups were completely destroyed. We had to have those rebuilt. We left the cases on it because I wanted, again, to show what this poor guy had gone through. So Brett Brubaker does our pickup work. He did an unbelievable job and rewound these pickups for us. They sound fantastic, and he researches all this stuff. He knows exactly what kind of wire it uses, so they sound just like they're supposed to. From there, original bridge, original tailpiece, original knob tip, original neck, body, tuners, and buttons. I left the old buttons on there, the 50s buttons, so they're a little, and actually one had already been replaced. I left the originals on there because I wanted to, and has original nut and original headstock. The neck was fine, and the body was fine. It was filthy, dirty. It took me hours to get this thing clean. But we found original frets were fine. It did not need a neck reset, which I was happy about. And I was just telling Brian, I had the Pickguard. Talk about having the right parts in your shop. I had the Silvertone Pickguard. I didn't have to have a new Pickguard made for it, which I was afraid I was going to have to do. From there, we had Jeff rewired. It's got all new Switchcraft stuff in here because the pots were completely shot, of course. The wire was it was icky. They already had this little extra piece on here, so it must have cracked the input jack, and they had this plate put on there. We left that on there, and it's solid, so it has a new Switchcraft input jack, a new Switchcraft pots, a new Switchcraft three-way switch, but we're able to use the top, so I was happy about that. Now, what is this? This is a 1955 Silvertone Thin Twin. They called him the Jimmy Reed model because Jimmy Reed played one back in the day. Kay made one, and actually Kay made it for Silvertone, but the Kay model, if you had a Kay one, it was a K161. They made those from 1952 to 59. The Silvertones were made from 54 to 58. Now, we couldn't get any dates off of anything. The pots were just undated, so we couldn't get dates off the pots. They don't put any dates on the bodies. There's a model number inside it, but that doesn't help you date it. So we're calling it a 1955. That doesn't mean it's a 1955. We're just saying it's from between 54 and 58. We know that, so we're going to call it 55 just because we get to call it something. So from there, let me give you some details about the guitar for those of you that don't know these guitars. It has a 25 3/4 inch scale neck, a 1 11/16 inch wide nut on it, but this is one big beefy neck. Brian was just playing, he goes, whoa, that's a baseball bat. I go, yes sir, it is. This is what we call a baseball bat neck. Those of you who like big necks, you will love this guitar. Now for me, it's a little tougher for me to play, as little telly players and Strat players. We're not used to these big honking necks like the old blues guys used to play. But that's what you get with this one, and so it was a lot of fun to get this guitar back in shape. And I have to say, thank you, Brad, who did our pickup work. Thank you, Jeff the Tech, who did all this other stuff and getting it all together. And You know, we're just really, really fortunate to have these guys here in Des Moines to help us work on this stuff, and we are very, very happy they're here. So anyway, let's hear how it sounds. Oops, let's turn it up. There we go. We're on the neck pickup, and it's very, very deep, 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 and dirty. That is very cool. Let's go all the way to the back. Oh yeah, what'd I say, baby? Yeah, this guitar will bring some blues out of you. Wow, cool guitar, 1950s. I mean, somewhere in the 1950s. This thing is awesome. We were so happy we got it back together again. It's one of those where you just go, this is why we're in the business. To put a guitar like this back into playing shape just gives me so much pleasure, almost as much as getting it in the hands of someone who's going to appreciate this guitar. This is awesome. Now, I was telling you earlier that when this thing showed up, it had like this homemade wood triangular shaped case that was just filthy. I mean, it was just absolutely like, oh, you open it up, it's like, oh, that's a thin twin. I cleaned up that case, but it's all wood, you know, and the guitar, quite honestly, I just couldn't bring myself to ship that guitar in this wood case without any cushioning. I'm just afraid to do that. Someone spent a lot of time building that for the guitar. It's in my shop. Someone wants to come get it, please. You know, I'm happy to give it to you, but I'm not going to ship that beautiful guitar in that case. So I had one more thin twin case, and so I'm happy to put it with it. I've been saving this for a special guitar, and this is the one. Check it out. It's got this beautiful red interior in it. Still got the accessory box. All the latches are here. All the hinges are here. You know, this is the K case, you know, which they would have had the Silvertone probably in this case or one like it. Fits it perfectly. It is designed for that guitar. So you get this awesome case. Try to find one. I mean, they're just, you know, you have to know what you're looking for to find this case because it's shaped for that guitar and none other. So I'm happy to have it. Happy to ship it with that guitar. Check it out, a 1955 Silvertone Thin Twin Jimmy Reed model K161 if it was a K model. but it's a Silvertone, and we're happy to show you that guitar that we got back together again. And all of our guitars are listed at www.lawmanguitars.com. We don't just have that one. We got a ton of guitars to show you. So check them all out. Hey, why don't you hit subscribe while you're here in my YouTube channel? I know you're in YouTube because you're watching me. So hit that subscribe button. Next month, you won't have to look for me. We'll show you 5 more cool guitars, I promise. So www.lawmanguitars.com. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on LinkedIn. You can find us everywhere. You can't escape Lawman Guitars. So thanks a lot for watching my demo. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you all. Thank you very, very much.